Okay guys, so it's Max here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about in my opinion, the best alternative to Adobe Photoshop, but also this company's suite as well. So let's get into it. Okay, so firstly, it's Affinity, as you may have been able to tell from the title, but I'm going to be mainly talking about Affinity Photo, but to start off with, I'm going to talk about the Affinity Designer and the Affinity Publisher they've just released. So overall, their suite is about £48, I think, in total for all of it, which is like basically 50 quid. But when I got it, it did cost £40, and it wasn't on offer. Um, I have the designer and the photo, but the publisher has just come out, and I don't really need to use that. But it's there, and you can look on their website. I'll link the website down in the description for anyone who wants to go check that out, because I'm not that sure about what it does. But that publisher. Then there's Affinity Designer, which I use occasionally, but not enough that I'd be able to talk about enough details to you. Um, but yeah, there's no subscription. You just pay £50 and you can have it on any computer that you can choose, and like it's a one-time payment. So there's no subscriptions, there's no licenses that mean you get it taken off you if you don't pay all of a sudden. So yeah, much cheaper and really nice design. You'll see in a minute. If you may have heard of the application already. It was originally just for Mac, but now they have it on Windows, and also Affinity Photo comes on iPad. So now we're going into Affinity Photo. That also, like I said, costs £50, but the iPad version costs £20. But with like the connecting the new displays kind of that Apple have just released, where you can connect your iPad to your Mac to do that. Affinity Photo is a really good app that works on both, because you can have the Mac app, but it will work really good as the extended display because it's optimized for iPad anyway. So yeah, it's a really good app, and 50 quid is not much for like photo apps, and uh, because Adobe have just become this massive company trying to basically own everything. So yeah, so you haven't used any of their software in ages though, Adobe, and Affinity seems to do the trick, because there's things like GIMP and Inkscape, which are good, they're free, but they just don't have a nice UX user experience, and just there's more features missing. Whereas Affinity Photo, as you can see, I'm opening up now, is really nice. They've just changed all their logos with a new update, which is when they brought Publisher out. I think this is the update 1.7. But yeah, so now I'm going to want to show you its really nice user interface. As you can see, like similar. I don't know. I haven't looked at Adobe for a while, like the latest version, but it's quite like modern and stuff. And you got the normal kind of panels. You got um, this. They bought batch processing about 2 updates ago, like 2 major updates ago, which literally I was hoping, oh, I need to do some batch processing, and then I look on their website and the update they've just released is compatible for batch processing, so then I get that update, and yeah. But yeah, I've used that a couple of times because that's very useful. But I don't know a lot. I'm not like mad Photoshopper, so you might want to watch someone else's video for more details. But the reason why this is like really good, like I've never had to Google anything to find anything. It's just so obvious where it is. So these are things called personas, and I can't remember which one. Oh, it's that one. This one is for raw files. So I take photos, as you may know. I'll put the link to my photography website in the description, so you can go check that out. But occasionally you shoot in RAW, obviously, and if I open a RAW document, it default opens in Affinity Photo and takes you into this persona, but I can't go in here yet. And it's got histogram graphs for photography. It's really good. Like it's kind of like Lightroom and Photoshop in one. This is kind of like the Lightroom area, all of this, and you can go to adjustments. You've got all of these. They're even more effective and more detailed in the raw persona over here, the development persona. Once you go into there, once you're in there, you can edit things, do that while it's still raw, and then you develop it and then you export it. So yeah, with this new update, it says it loads at least 2 times faster. I haven't tried it out yet, but it does seem pretty fast. So yeah, very, very good. And then you got all these like normal kind of glowing, shadowy, blurs, effects. And like I said, you got all like levels, and they show up in these little windows, which I can't show you at the moment. But you get a little window that pops up, and then you can overlay it, but to edit it again, you have to go into layers, click the adjustment filter you just put on, and then you can adjust it, which I only found out recently, because otherwise you end up layering it on unless you undo it all and start again. But yeah, that seems all good. And also you got the the normal kind of mask layers, which I use quite often for doing things like on my Instagram. There's a picture of a bus covered in graffiti, and obviously I did all that with masks and stuff like that. And you can go check that. It's on my Instagram as well. But the Instagram link is on the website that I've designed as well. So go check out the website. It'll be under the Affinity website one. So yeah, much appreciated if you do check that out. I also have some digital files available for download, but that page is not up yet. I need to sort that out. And yeah, well, I don't have much to say. You got the normal kind of crop tools and these perspective tools. They work fine. Normal, it's really detailed. Like if you just go into it, I'm sure everything from Photoshop will be in here, if not something very similar. And yeah, I'd much recommend this app to anyone who wants to get rid of Adobe, or is just trying to look for something that isn't as expensive as Adobe, and get into some Photoshop. And also, if you have an iPad, it's also a great option, because they've literally also really designed it around the iPad and used for the Apple Pencil as well. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, remember, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll definitely see you in the next video next Wednesday.